This Good Morning Northwest morning sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is 6:53. Time to get you ready to take on your Monday in the morning sprint.
Breaking news from the Middle East. Iran's president killed in a helicopter crash. Sydney Charles is tracking the latest information.
Tomorrow is primary election day in Idaho, and Allison Martinez is live with what you need to know as you head out to the polls.
But first, we are waking up to some fog this morning. Let's get right to Mark's forecast.
All right, good morning, everybody. As we, in our first alert weather, in that first alert weather app, Valley, you're going to need it. Go to the App Store and get it. We're sitting at 39 into the valley. It's 35 in Deer Park. Everybody's warming up above freezing now. Gina, you're at 34. We are going to see variable clouds today. We're going to see a chance of an afternoon or evening shower, and then we'll see highs today around 70 degrees. In Coeur d'Alene, you'll be in the mid-60s.
Breaking news this morning, a helicopter crash killed Iran's President Ebrahim Raisi, along with his foreign minister and several others. A drone sent in from Turkey located the crash, detecting a source of heat near Iran's border that was more than 12 hours after the chopper vanished in bad weather. Today, the country's first vice president has been appointed as acting president of the Islamic Republic following that crash. How the U.S. is responding is coming up next on Good Morning America.
And more breaking news from the Middle East this morning. The International Criminal Court prosecutor Karim Khan has announced the ICC is seeking arrest warrants in retaliation to the October 7th attacks in Israel and the Gaza war. Now, the court's chief prosecutor told CNN in an exclusive interview today he is seeking arrest warrants for Hamas's leader Yahya Sinwar and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on charges of war and crimes against humanity.
Spokane Police Major Crimes Unit investigating a shooting that happened during the annual Lilac Festival Armed Forces Torchlight Parade in downtown Spokane Saturday night. Spokane Police say the shooting happened just before 9 o'clock at night at the convenience store toward the end of the parade route. One person was shot and another injured. Both were taken to the hospital. SPD told us it wasn't able to release any information regarding what happened or the suspect in order to protect the investigation. Spokane's mayor released a statement in response. You can read that on KXLY.com.
A man who crashed his car into a power pole is in critical condition this morning. According to the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, Richard Lansadell was driving east on Garwood Road when he veered off the road and into a pole. He's in the hospital this morning in critical condition.
A small plane bound for Ephrata is missing this morning. The Washington State Department of Transportation says the plane, piloted by Jerry Reidinger, left the Arlington Municipal Airport yesterday afternoon at 4:30. His wife reported him missing an hour and a half later. An air search is underway near Snoqualmie Pass. Officials are expected to give an update at 11 this morning.
A plane had to make an emergency landing on the North Spokane corridor Saturday afternoon. It landed just before 1 Saturday and was back in the air by about 3. Inside was a trainee pilot who owns the aircraft and an instructor. The pair took off from Phelps Field. In mid-flight, they thought they ran out of fuel, prompting them to make that emergency landing. Well, it turns out there was a second fuel tank on that plane they were unaware of, which had plenty of fuel. Now, thankfully, no one was hurt.
It's a big week for Idaho voters. There are 2 main dates you need to know about this week. The first, of course, is primary election day, which is tomorrow. The polls will be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, honorable or races to note include Kootenai County Sheriff and County Commissioners. The second date is the Democratic Presidential Caucus, which is this Thursday at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds. That will be from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can go to our website, KXLY.com, for more details.
Metal sheets now cover the concrete benches in the alcoves along the Monroe Street Bridge in an effort to make the bridge safer and cleaner. Last year, Councilman Michael Cathcart championed a resolution to address the bridge's issues, things like drug use and illegal activity. Over the last 6 months, the projects to increase safety on the bridge, like those of metal sheets, anti-graffiti paint, and improved lighting, have cost less than $50,000. Once the costs top that amount, the projects would need City Council approval.
Well, this new section of the North Spokane corridor is closing for some repairs starting today. The Department of Transportation will close all southbound lanes between the Freya Street and Wellesley Avenue interchanges. It will close this morning at 7 a.m. and reopen around 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Just a block away from the Monroe Street Bridge, the Post Street Bridge is about to reopen. The 1-lane northbound bridge will open the first week of June, along with the completion of the Gorge Loop Trail through the park and Kendall Yards. We're back with a final check of weather coming up with Mark right after this quick break.